Happy full moon in Leo, snow moon, February 1st. I wanted to do a card pull and I kept getting the nudge to start recording even though I was mixing the cards up, and I don't normally do that. I'm just like, why? Like, like let me just get it ready first. And then the cards popped out and I was like, oh, I understand now. Because it's one of the cards is one of those cards where it's like, this actually popped out today. Okay. So, but you know what? We're just gonna flow with it, and I'm gonna trust now. And because I felt the nudge to utilizing one deck and get one from this other one. And of course, I set the intention for two with the first deck, but I got three, so we're just gonna let that flow. I couldn't not with the card that came out. Uh, or one of the cards that came out. Okay, good. Interesting. Okay, so here, let me move this real quick. So anyway, this full moon in Leo and with the sun in Aquarius, there's a lot. So if you have any Leo placements, especially, you're gonna be activated. Because this is all about authenticity. It's so much of what I talk about that it's just I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot of the time, but authenticity, your self concept, your identities, all of these things are being shaken and stirred. And we're in the last couple weeks of the wood snake, and so the shedding that we are doing is unlike any of it so far. The last couple weeks, the last push, it's really imperative to allow yourself to just be wherever it is that you are. I just made a post about this, or a couple posts about this over the last week, where the importance of self-acceptance in where you are and just how um, important that is. Just want to make sure to turn my notifications off. Sorry. How important that is, because it's not talked about enough, in my personal opinion. And a lot of the time, you're not going to have the answers. You might not have the words to describe where you are, and that's okay. The thing is just allowing yourself to accept that you might be in that space. And if you do have the words, accepting where you are at in that space as well. You know, because we're always, well, I should say we're always, a lot of the time we're so focused on getting to where we want to be that we aren't in the moment. And we cannot continue operating from these places. And I mean, if you are and you do and whatever, it's obviously you're gonna do what you do. But the thing is why not you give yourself the opportunity for something different? Why not meet yourself where you're actually at, so that where you're getting to becomes your reality? And when you can actually stay present in the moment in that reality, it's I just got like this huge like hunger pang in my stomach. And so what that is telling me is that we're hungry for this. We're hungry for this change. We're hungry for this new breath of fresh air, this way of being that actually allows yourself to be human in the moment and that just be the norm. Like, what would your life be like? And I asked this in one of the videos recently. What would your life be like if you could just accept yourself where you are and knowing that you're okay? Like, how would that shift your life? So, anyway, just some thoughts. But I felt guided to utilize the Queen of the Sun Oracle with Leo energy being so prominent right now. And then the second card, I have this body healing deck. It felt really important to bring that forward. So we're going to play with that. Where's this book? Because I know I'm going to want it. Oh, man. I'm in a huge transition here, which is very evident in how I need to clear my space. Physically, energetically, it's fine, but um, we're in the process. So anyway, oh, also, I don't know if you've been doing anything like this recently, but it's been very guided for me to incorporate more ginger in my day. Ironically, I'm married to a ginger, so there's that. But anyway, so I have this beautiful cup that my mom gave me for my birthday last year. I think it was last year. And yes, and I've been having ginger and lemon hot water with a little bit of honey. And this is just how I've been kind of starting my day with whatever I'm putting into it, you know. It's been amazing. Highly recommend. Especially for the feminine. I mean, everybody would benefit, but especially the feminine. But I saw something when I was playing with it. I was like, well, I want to get that out of it because I think it was a hair. But anyway, I'm distracting. So, the very first card that came out of the Sun deck is number 42. So, reading from Kyle Gray's Angel Number book. Angels are lovingly guiding you to express your emotions. Align yourself with truth and integrity. This is so important, so powerful, so important because, I mean, countless reasons, but if you haven't been allowing yourself to be present for your emotional experience, you will be forced one way or another. Eventually, you're going to be forced to do it, and it's going to be way more painful and inconvenient than it would be if you just started implementing little things to get you moving in that direction. Moving. I don't know why it came out weird, but it did. Moving. Maybe there's something about a cow there. Um, Interesting. Maybe okay, that resonates. If you are experiencing difficulty with connecting with your emotions, maybe connecting with a spirit animal, maybe a cow specifically, is going to be beneficial for you. And I am kind of feeling like Taurus bull energy coming forward from that too. So I don't know if that resonates for you, but it makes sense because they're very grounded, very connected, you know, especially to earth and nature and Mama Gaia and all that. So I could definitely see that being connection if that's something that's coming forward for you and feeling good. So this card is gorgeous for one thing, but photosynthesis, reciprocity, reciprocity. There we go. Enter into equal partnerships. Build your teamwork. While some of us like to run solo, few of us can live life completely independently, so choose well. Choose generosity over meanness. Look at where you can enter into service, but not servitude. So, oh my gosh, that last one especially is so aligned with where we're at right now. You know, this Leo energy is very like there's lots of ways to look at it, and I feel like a lot of how it comes through to people is from its serving capacity in the sense of self-serving maybe because I don't know about you, but I hear a lot of like things about how selfish and things Leos can be and all of that. And I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying that we all have our own experiences with whatever. Um, but you see what you are. And so if it resonates with you in that way, maybe it's trying to, well, not trying to, but maybe it's offering you a different perspective, a different way to look at things. Because I just heard when you look at things differently, they change. So it's all about perspective shift and allowing that to be whatever it's meant to be for you. The affirmation is, I accept positive energy and ripple it back out into the world. And so especially with that service, but not servitude piece, it's about removing the the heavier, denser frequencies from giving. So balancing your giving and receiving. How does your relationship with that benefit you? How does it hold you back? How does it benefit others? How does it maybe hold others back? There's this whole thing about like being a a savior type of energy. And the thing with that is really check where you're coming from in regard to these things, because you cannot save anyone. You cannot heal anyone other than yourself. The thing is when you are present, when you are showing up, when you are um, allowing and accepting of yourself and where you are the example. And where this really comes in for people who are, in the healing field, whether that be energetic, physical, whatever, we are bridging. We are a bridge. We are the bridge connection and holding these frequencies to help other people choose themselves in those frequencies to maintain them themselves. It's not about I heal you. It's about I give you the opportunity to heal yourself. And so it's really important that we remember that we differentiate that, and at the same time are not downplaying our magic. It's a really intricate balance, and it's really important to really see your intentions and where you're coming from and how this is impacting your moving forward. Because as we are in these last couple of weeks of this shedding, utilize it. Utilize this opportunity to shed the stuff that is keeping you from your authenticity, your authentic expression, your heart coherence. Those are the two like big phrases that I got out of this, out of my like really tuning into all of this, is heart coherence and authentic expression. And that's why they're on my little thing for, or my graphic for Radiant Realignment this month, because that's so much about what this Leo energy is bringing forward. It's authentic connection, expression. It's not about performing on stages that we didn't create anymore. It's about, this is something huge that I went through over the last year. It's about deconstructing the stages that were built for you so that you could perform in others' viewpoints and others' expectations. So you could perform and serve the people in a people-pleasing type of way. But the thing is, and my nose is getting all like stuffy here because it's bringing forward blockages in the breath. Are you breathing your own breath, or are you breathing I don't want to say it that way. We say it a different way. No, I don't want to. Okay. This is my authenticity here coming through. I was like, do I really have to? And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay. Are you really breathing your own breath? Or are you breathing another's excrement and pretending it's yours? But it's true. It's a really kind of grotesque way of saying it, but it's a really great question. Are you performing on a stage that isn't yours, or are you connected into your heart coherence and living living from your own authentic your own authentically built space? And it's not even built, it's remembered. Are you standing on your remembrance? Are you embodying these spaces, or are you coming from someone else's expectations, someone else's desires of you? Really ask yourself these questions. because how you move forward, especially as this year of the snake is completing and we are going into this fire horse, if you are not coming from your authenticity, it's going to be really difficult. I mean, it's going to be difficult anyway, because, we're all doing our own thing and life is what it is, but it doesn't have to be as painful as it would be if you were being, wait, am I saying that correctly? It doesn't have to be as painful as if you were being forced to do it, because one way or another, you're going to have to do this. Are you going to go kicking and screaming, or are you going to make it your way? Are you going to flow with it instead of trying to resist the currents of you actually stepping into your authenticity, stepping into who you are and your remembrance and whatever the heck that means for you, So a lot of time on this card because it's really powerful and gorgeous. I'm obsessed with this card. It's just so beautiful. Makes me think of my fairy epidote right here. Ugh. Ugh, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Okay. Anyway, moving on to the second card, and this is the one where I was like, so it's number 36. See what Kyle's got to say. Or Kyle's channel, I should say. There are opportunities for you to increase your enjoyment of your career at this time and raise your level of abundance. Your guides are ready to help. That they are. And today is Imbolic. Imbolic. And this says it's the I feel like so bad for saying it that way, but embolic. Come on, focus, phone. Anyway, it says renewal and embolic. So it is the time to embrace change. Shake things up, nourish yourself with good food and adequate rest. Plan intentions for growth. I accept and embrace change. What was I just talking about? Just say it. So it is just too perfect to literally affirm everything that we were just talking about. But anything else that's standing out other than the fact that it's embolic and this card came out. I really hope I'm not like mispronouncing that, by the way. So in all of this shift and all this change and all this stuff that I'm talking about, it's also really important, again, to go back to that allowing yourself to be where you are piece and not there's so much balance in all of the things that I'm talking about that you coming from whatever perception you're coming from may or may not, but it may lead to more questions because you're like, well, how do I do that in a balanced way? Because I'm coming from this perspective of like, that's never worked for me before. So if it's never worked for me before, I have this confirmation bias that is telling me that this isn't going to work. So I'm going to go into this thing knowing, quote unquote, that it's not going to work for me. And because I have that confirmation bias, that's going to be what's true. And so the thing is, if you're coming from that space, if that resonates for you, breathe first and foremost. Just breathe. And I know that that may have been frustrating as being the first response, but it's honestly the best thing you can do for yourself is to just breathe. Like a deep breath into your low belly, feeling it throughout your whole body, and then releasing out your breath or out your mouth and maybe an auditory breath because you're gonna like let stuff go while you're doing that because those are great questions. And so if that resonates for you, again, focus on the breath and trust that just because something has been one way for you in the past does not mean that it's going to be the same way for you again. The issue with confirmation bias is that we are consistently, constantly shifting, changing, even if we don't even know it. And so much of the things that we're working through collectively, individually, all of it right now is so subconscious that you might not even have a conscious awareness of so many of the things that are shifting because it's so ancient. It's so, um, connected to the beginnings of the Kali Yuga cycle. When we first in that cycle before, because we shifted into the Aquarian age last year during that time. And what we're doing now in this snake shedding is shedding a lot of the things that created the subconscious body, mind, soul, all of it. Well, soul doesn't have subconscious, never mind. The body, mind, subconscious, the things that have impacted and in ways directly and indirectly caused the the forgetfulness, the veil. We're shedding a lot of that. And as you are healing, awakening, whatever verbiage you like to use, you are clearing so much more than you even realize. But especially now, as we are wrapping up this snake year, there is some, the words just don't even want to come out because there's so many different words, but it's heavy, dense, old, ancient, tar-like density that we're navigating. Um, like as an example, I have so much that I can share here, and there's so much more story that goes with this, but I'm just gonna try and keep it really short here. The navigating specifically, people pleasing, the overdoing, overbeing, blah blah blah, the overings, I've been calling them, and seeing just how far back they go in my family lineage, my soul lineage, all of that. And recently, I have learned that the core of these things are actually possible to get to. It doesn't mean that you're done healing those things. It doesn't mean you're suddenly like fully like ascended or whatever into these different opportunities. But the thing is there's still layers and whatnot to heal, but and not even to heal, to be with, to allow or accept or um let go of, continue on with, whatever feels good. So recently with people pleasing and all of that, I actually got to the core of that in my family lineage. And there was, I don't know, where this entity of sorts that came forward for me to like actually see, oh hey, this is a huge part of that core thing. And there are various devices, um, implants, seeds, different things like that that we have in our systems, be it energetically, physically, whatever. And for me and my family lineage, this was a seed that was planted long ago, way longer than I even know, that was all about this people pleasing stuff. And at the core, it was likely because I still have time to play with this, or that I want to play with this, but at the core of it, it was likely, and I'm connecting with it now and I'm being affirmed, yes, that there was some sort of pact made, a vow, a contract, fill in the blank with any words that you like, where they were meant to work together. And they did. But the thing is sometimes we don't fully understand what it is that we are signing up to do or whatever that is. And there's lots of different ways that this stuff can go than what our minds can come up with. And that contract, vow, agreement, whatever, it got twisted and mangled and messed with because when you invite anything in and you make a contract with it, there's so much that's excluded from the fine print. I couldn't even say it. That they can end up totally. So like you have this idealized vision of what you're wanting this connection, this thing to look like, and then it goes completely opposite direction. And so it's really important to recognize what not only what we're wanting and what we're like signing up for in a responsibility sense, but also taking responsibility for when that doesn't go the way that you want it to go. Because it more often than not is not going to go the way you want it to go. And so bringing forward um, a bit of understanding in that way is going to be really, really beneficial for you. And taking a step back and really evaluating what you're stepping into, how you're moving forward. Is this actually aligned with me? Does this actually make sense with where I want to move forward to? Or do I have some idealized thing that is a 1 in a million chance? And I'm not saying that that isn't possible. I'm just saying it's really important for you to understand and evaluate your intentions. Are they authentic to your core, or are they being influenced in some way, shape, or form, subconsciously or consciously, or externally? So, anyway, there's a, a lot with that. But what is also important during this time, we are still in the winter season, is to allow yourself to rest. Because with all of this renewal, with all of this shift, all of this change, all of this stuff that we're processing, your body is going to need rest. And so if you're like me and you resist sleep, ask yourself why you resist sleep. What are you actually resisting? Because who doesn't like to rest? You know what I mean? Ultimately, like who doesn't? And some people even see that as a luxury. That's an interesting perspective, and I'll just leave that there. But why do you resist rest, renewal? Why are you resisting this shift? Whatever it is. It's just, and it's not an accusatory, it's a curiosity. Okay. So just kind of play with that. There's a lot of just big concepts coming through. And it's so funny because like I said I wanted 2 cards, but this last card popped out too, and I was like, okay, I understand why this one needs to be here too. It's number 16. You are being invited to upgrade your choices and move toward experiences that support your joy and purpose. Let go and move forward. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. But also, I love that there's been multiple now that are pointing toward joy. What brings you joy? What are you passionate about? Look at all of those things. Find the common flow, the common denominators, and then you will have more clarity around what it is that you actually want. Because I don't know about you, but I tend to struggle with knowing what I want. I know what I don't want. Been given many opportunities to know what I don't want, but knowing what you do want, it's a little bit different. So, oh, okay. So I've never read or seen this name before, so I'm gonna spell it Beavi. Beavi? Beavi? I'm sorry, but it's mental health. So importante. And I love how there's like it looks kind of just like glitter, like golden glitter here, but it's also like fire ember-esque, which just makes me think of Leo, so it's just cool. Place emphasis on your own mental health. Establishing boundaries is a part of protecting your mental and physical health. Things may not be as you think. Take your time to observe the situation and seek balance. I am safe and loved and will return to balance. Sometimes I don't always fully agree with the affirmation. So what I'm going to offer you, if that one doesn't fully land like it does for me, I am safe. I am loved and I am returned to balance. Or, yeah, I am returned to balance. That way it's an affirmative, like I am in this space. And I also just like saying I am versus I am and. So for me, I like I am safe, I am loved, and I am returned to balance. So, mental health, I mean, I don't know where to even go with that, but all of this healing, all of this stuff, all of this crazy chaos that's outside of us, there's a lot to say here. Know that a lot of this is representation of the chaos that is inside. It may show up in different ways, but the external is a representation of the internal. And so, what does your external life look like? How is that representing your internal space? The things that you pay attention to, the things that you give your energy to, give your attention to, are what will occur more in your life. It is so important to recognize how many things are desperate for your attention. Use your discernment. Most of what you see being shown, media, etc., is bullshit. It is to get a rise out of you. It is to zap your energy through whatever device you're utilizing. And don't think it doesn't work that way, because it does. Use your discernment. That will directly impact your mental health. And I feel like it's important to say it again. Most of what you see media-wise, it's a stage. You remember I was talking about earlier with the first card or two, talking about these stages that were made for you that weren't yours? Are you breathing the excrement of someone else's breath? All of that is totally tied into this. Your safety, your mental health, your health in general is fully dependent on what you allow and don't allow. And I'm not saying that you have like this direct responsibility to a lot of it, because most of it wasn't necessarily I don't want to say that. There are direct and indirect influences. I'll say it that way. And when you were a kid, of course, no, you didn't have the choice that you have now. But you have choice now. What are you utilizing with your choice? What are you choosing with your choice? Are you choosing yourself? Or are you prioritizing yourself? Are you prioritizing peace, contentment? Are you prioritizing health and vitality? Really look at, literally and not literally, the things that you are giving your attention to. If you're scrolling, if you are stuck in self-sabotage, if you are spiraling in your thoughts. There's so many different opportunities here. I'm losing part, my voice is starting to give out because there's so much stuck in the throat chakra and below that is wanting to work its way out. And until we grow our awareness of what it is that we're truly giving our attention to, truly giving our energy to, we don't recognize how much we're actually amplifying the issues, amplifying the things that we are wanting peace within. And I'm not saying turn a blind eye. What I'm saying is acknowledge what you are actually paying attention to, what you are giving energy to, because the more that you talk about, think about, are operating within these things, you are advancing whatever prerogative, whatever agenda these things have. There's a way to be present in peace, in love, in gratitude, in generosity, in authenticity, in power, in brevity, and courageousness. There are ways to be present in all of these things without giving your power away, without giving your power to these other things that are attempting to siphon from you. This is where your personal power and responsibility really lies, and so many people are just caught up in how it's been, and so they just continue the way that they've been. And a part of that is why all of this stuff is ramping up to the degree that it is. So the guidance here is live in love, breathe in love. It doesn't matter what someone else is doing. It matters what you are doing. External actions cannot, and not I'll say it this way, external actions, external words, things like that are what they are. But the way that you react, respond, is what determines where you navigate. You are the creator, co-creator of your reality. And so it's not about matching energy. It's about discernment, boundaries, unconditional love, knowing that unconditional love does not come without any of those things, and utilizing the wisdom moving forward in a non-detached way, or a non-attached way. Detachment with love. And that in itself might sound counterintuitive to some of you, but the thing is, it's not about attachment is not love. Attachment is need. Attachment is you getting something that you need out of whatever that is. That's not love. One of the things that I've learned in my marriage has been that at one point I needed my husband. And at that point when we got together, he needed that I needed him. And vice versa. We both needed each other for different things. But as we've grown, as we've healed, as we've connected, it's growing to be more of I choose you. It's not that I need you. I can do this on my own. I don't need you. It's I want and I choose you. That is true love. And so look at these things that you say you love. Do you actually love them because you need them? Or are you choosing them actively, even though you don't need them? There's some just really interesting things to look at there. I'm not sure why, especially or exactly why that came through, but it did, so we're just gonna flow with it. And last but not least, this card does not have a number. And this deck is a little different. Oh, I opened up right to the thing in the book. I love it. Okay. So this is a body part. And the reason that I felt guided to bring this forward is because sometimes it's really, really, really important for us to be in our physical body. And especially with all of the shift and stuff, it can be extra important to stay in your body because if you're not, you're dissociating. And if we're dissociating, then we're not in the present moment. We're not with ourselves. And so I wanted to bring forward a body part that may be important to focus on. And so the knees came forward. Hmm. The knees are essential, a central conduit for the passage of Earth's forces into the body, the dance of life in the Earth's gravitational field, balance, and steadfastness. Well, we were talking about balance, so. Through the motions of bending and stretching, they lend dignity to our existence and trust that we are equal in all things. When stretching, the knees make us aware of our meaning in life. When bending, they convey loving devotion to the universe. And then there's a little practice here. And so I'm just going to read it to you. You can do it on your own time if you would like. Slowly bend your knees, then stretch them again. Pay attention to your thoughts. Any of them. Even if you're bringing your sarcasm forward. If you're sitting, I guess you can stand, but I would say to sit, just so that you can really focus on it. So taking a deep breath, if you're sitting down, stretching out your leg, your knee, and then bending again. You might want to do it a couple of times just to feel the sensation in your knee, really paying attention to that part of your body and that part of your body only. Like just filter your thoughts so that you are focused purely on your knees. What is coming forward? Be it a sensation, a thought, a memory. Our body holds messages all the time. And so whatever is coming up for you at this time can be really beneficial. And so just really be present with it. Allow yourself to be present with your knees. Breathe into your knees. So sense, feel, imagine the breath that you are breathing in is going directly to your knees. Feel their mediating role for earthly energy entering the body. So you can think of your knees as a filter for the energy that you are taking up into your body and then pushing out of your body. What are your knees allowing in and not allowing in? What are they filtering and how is that benefiting or not benefiting you? Sometimes our body parts think they have a particular role that may or may not be aligned with you anymore. Maybe at one point your knees were filtering out something that really wasn't good for you, but now your body could really benefit from that. And so just paying attention, again, no judgment or anything like that, just awareness, just observation. Another thing is you can walk up or down a staircase, one step at a time, feeling your knees and any emotions, thoughts, memories, sensations that you are feeling. If it's pain, ask the pain what it's trying to tell you. It might be trying to tell you that there's another body part that is not feeling the greatest, that it could really use your support. Because a lot of the time we'll experience pain somewhere, but that's not where the issue actually is. It's actually like across on the other side of the body and on the opposite end, like so it can be really helpful to ask the things that you are feeling, be them pain, your emotions, different things like that, what they're trying to communicate, what they're telling you, instead of just turning up the radio so you don't hear it anymore. Ask yourself what's going on, because one way or another, it's gonna make you listen. Like I was saying in the beginning of this, if you don't take proactive measures, if you aren't being present for yourself in the moment and paying attention to what's going on, bringing awareness to you and your body now, it will make you listen eventually, and it's not going to be convenient. It's going to be like completely life changing. Like, I cannot tell you how many friends and clients that I've had over the years that have had like these really serious health issues, these really serious accidents that come out of nowhere that completely dramatically shift their life. And yes, it ended up being for their best and highest good, but if you can instead choose to be more present in the moment now, to make shifts and changes over time, you won't have to have such a dramatic wake up. But I mean, sometimes you need that. And so I'm not like saying anything negative about it. I'm just saying, like, if you can make a different decision, why wouldn't you? So look into that. Ask yourself these questions because these are very transformational questions and are going to be a huge part of Radiant Realignment today. So, on that note, if you would like support through all of this in a very peace-filled, loving, connected community space, Radiant Realignment is a monthly remote healing that I offer. I will also have a recorded opportunity so that you can connect physically with what happens energetically. And everything is coming through your higher self, your beautiful soul connections, and you're supported in the Akashic records through this as well. Your team, your guardians, your loved ones that have passed on, they are all present. Your ancestors, everything. Uh, all love and light, authentic beings, of course. Um, and so much more. So, yeah, dove deep into all of this. And so this is going to be a part of that, but we're going to go even further because there's more. There's some different things that I've been being guided to include in this one. So it's going to be more ritually kind of in a way. So I'm very intrigued, but I am going to stop this recording and start that one here in a few minutes. And so if you would like to join Radiant Realignment this month, it's so here for you. It's a very, very low cost entry point. It's the um, most affordable thing that I offer because it's meant to be a group thing. And so that's one of the reasons I keep it so low. And it's just a great opportunity to choose yourself through. And you get access to an amazing Facebook group that we play throughout the month. I give freebies in there, especially during the new moon, and all the good stuff. So, anywho, if that's something you would like to participate in, all you have to do is message me and we'll get you all set up. So, on that note, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing full moon, and that you give yourself so much love, so much grace, so much compassion, and really choose yourself. So, and in choosing yourself, you choose everything and everyone. And I'm meaning this in that non-selfish way, even though it might feel selfish. So, anyway, love you. Hope you have a great day. Bye.